The night air hums with the vibration of engines. Shadows blur past streetlights. A lone figure leans forward on his motorcycle, leather jacket flapping in the wind, eyes fixed on the horizon. One goal, one dangerous obsession: the ton, 100 miles per hour. In 1950s Britain, something extraordinary stirred among the streets, cafes, and back alleys. It was raw, thrilling, and unapologetically British, a youth culture that lived for speed, rebellion, and the freedom of the open road. This wasn't just about motorcycles. It was about brotherhood, danger, and a relentless pursuit of living intensely. Tonight, we ride into the heart of that era. We'll explore the ton-up boys, the cafes that became their temples, and the machines that roared louder than any warning. Strap on your helmet and hold tight, because this is the story of Britain's legendary cafe racers. Post-war Britain was gray, subdued, and steeped in routine. Factories hummed day and night. Streets were filled with buses, deliveries, and the monotony of survival. But beneath the gray, young working-class men yearned for something more, something faster, something that made life feel alive. The Ace Café, opened in 1938 on the North Circular Road, became a sanctuary for those young men. Open 24 hours, its walls vibrated with the pulse of rock and roll, tea steamed in mugs, and greasy breakfasts were served to fuel more than just the body. The Ace was culture, rebellion, and home, all in one. These weren't wealthy kids seeking thrills. They were apprentices, mechanics, builders, hands blackened by work and hearts set on speed. They didn't just ride motorcycles. They built them, tuned them, perfected them, and pushed them to limits few dared to reach. If the sound of engines and rebellion excites you, hit like and subscribe. We're about to dive deeper into the adrenaline-fueled world of Britain's ton-up boys. The term ton-up boys was simple yet deadly, hit 100 miles per hour. Cars of the era struggled to reach 70, but these young riders hungered for more. Their world consisted of long factory weeks, short weekends, and the intoxicating thrill of speed. They raced from cafe to cafe, Ace to Busy Bee near Watford, Johnson's in Brands Hatch, setting challenges that were as creative as they were dangerous. A song played on the jukebox. The rider would reach a designated landmark and return before the track ended. Success brought glory. Failure could mean tragedy. Every motorcycle was a work of art. Clip-on handlebars lowered the rider into a crouch, rear-set footrests moved the controls back for sharper cornering, fairings were sometimes homemade, and solo seats shaved weight. Exhausts barked like thunder announcing arrival. These weren't machines, they were extensions of the riders themselves. The Ace Café wasn't alone. Dozens of transport cafes across Britain became hallowed grounds for the ton-up boys. Outside, motorcycles gleamed like chrome soldiers ready for battle. Inside, jukeboxes spun Eddie Cochran, Chuck Berry, and Gene Vincent. Lads shared mechanical tips, discussed modifications, and plotted their next adrenaline-fueled race. Food was secondary: beans on toast, eggs and chips, or a bacon sandwich if funds allowed. But the culture thrived on camaraderie, stories, and the relentless pursuit of speed. Imagine it: the smell of petrol, leather, and frying bacon, engines revving outside. If you can feel the thrill, leave a comment with the bike you'd ride through London tonight. Leather jackets scarred from previous tumbles, engineer boots gripping the pegs, hair greased back with brilliant sheen to stay under the helmet. This was functional fashion at its most stylish. The rockers rejected the clean, neat mod style, embracing an American-inspired roughness that terrified parents and enthralled peers. Bank holiday weekends became battlefields. Mods, with scooters, polished to perfection, crisp suits and parkas, clashed with rockers in skirmishes that newspapers called riots. Brighton, Margate, and Clacton became legendary for these confrontations, chaotic, territorial, and adrenaline-fueled. The media portrayed them as feral gangs. In reality, it was youthful rebellion, posturing, and identity formation. Triumph Bonnevilles, Norton Dominators, and BSA Gold Stars were the lifeblood of the movement. They leaked oil, required constant maintenance, and demanded skill. But they had soul. Every rider knew their machine intimately, adjusting carburetors, tuning timing, and balancing wheels by hand. The bond between man and machine was profound, mechanical, yet intensely personal. Royal Enfield, Velocette, AJS, and Matchless contributed to the movement, each brand carrying heritage and pride. Riding a British bike wasn't just about performance. It was about identity, tradition, and an unspoken challenge to the world. Ride fast, live free. Rock and roll provided the soundtrack. The jukebox at Ace Café roared Elvis, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and Eddie Cochran. Cochran's Summertime Blues became an anthem for the Ton-Up Boys. British bands like The Who captured the spirit with songs like My Generation, echoing the defiance of leather-clad riders. Music and motorcycles fueled each other. Engines inspired lyrics. Guitars inspired riding. A cultural feedback loop was born, intertwining rebellion, speed, and identity. Later punk bands like The Damned and The Clash would trace inspiration back to this era. With limited funds but boundless creativity, the Ton-Up Boys transformed ordinary second-hand motorcycles into roaring, lean racing machines. They crafted homemade fairings, replaced heavy seats with lightweight solo units, installed knee-recessed fuel tanks for maximum control, and modified exhausts to unleash a thunderous bark that announced their arrival long before they appeared. Every adjustment, every tweak, every hand-fettled component had a single purpose: more speed, sharper handling, and less weight. These weren't professional tuners. They were young men turning back gardens and garages into workshops of ingenuity, driven by passion and adrenaline. By the early 1970s, the golden age of cafe racers began to wane. Japanese motorcycles arrived, offering unmatched reliability and effortless performance that British machines could no longer compete with. Insurance premiums skyrocketed for young riders, cars became more accessible, and new countercultures, hippies first, then punks, shifted the youth landscape. Yet the spirit of the cafe racers refused to vanish. In 1997, the Ace Café reopened, modern builders resurrected the iconic style, and the cafe racer legacy continued, proving that ingenuity, freedom, and rebellion are timeless. If you love the ingenuity and audacity of these riders, hit like and share this video. Keep their legacy alive. The cafe racer era was more than machines and music. It was courage, creativity, and brotherhood. Working-class lads built culture from scratch, proving that speed, ingenuity, and friendship mattered more than money or status. Leather jackets, engineer boots, and greased-back hair remain timeless symbols. Every modern custom build, every ride at dawn, and every twist of the throttle carries fragments of the Ton-Up Boys' spirit. Their world was dangerous, exhilarating, and magnificent. They didn't have much, but they had speed, freedom, and the open road. Every mile they rode forged a culture that continues to inspire dreamers and riders worldwide. Subscribe now for more cinematic dives into history's boldest, most thrilling subcultures. Join us and ride along with legends.